Hello, my name is Peter Bishop. I am the Executive Director of Teach the Future, an NGO whose mission is to bring futures thinking to young people around the world. It is my pleasure to participate in the UNESCO Summit under the auspices of the Prince Mohammed bin Fahd Center for Futuristic Studies. The university is a leader in future studies, supporting research and teaching about change in the future. It is an honor to appear in their booth at this event. I'm here to tell you about the grant that Teach the Future received from the World Future Studies Federation, which was funded by the Center. The grant was awarded to conduct research on the assessment of futures thinking for young people. Let me give you some background before we begin. This relatively new discipline of future studies has been growing since it was founded in the 1950s. Today, a number of universities are offering graduate programs to prepare their students for careers as foresight professionals. They and private organizations have launched even more short courses for those already in positions that use the methods and tools of future studies. Finally, professional organizations like the Federation and the Association of Professional Futurists are growing as well. But we have a group that has so far been left out of learning about the future, namely the youth of today. Few of us had any introduction to the future when we were in school, much less the approach that we now use. In its place, I'm afraid that we picked up some misimpressions about the future that people have to unlearn when they start any systematic program. As a result, it is time that young people learn a better way to deal with the future while they are still in school. But as you know, introducing a new subject to an already crowded curriculum is no easy task. Many ask whether it is worth it, whether learning about the future provides any benefit to students. We are therefore required to document systematically what difference it makes to learn about the future at an early age. And that documentation requires, in turn, an instrument that measures students' attitudes about the future. This grant was awarded to adapt and validate one of the most well-established instruments for doing just that, the Futures Consciousness Scale from our colleagues in Finland and the UK. Our objective, therefore, is to assess the future's consciousness of school-age children. We begin with a scale that has already been validated for adults. We adapt the scale for young people, and then we administer the scale to middle school students, ages 11 to 14, in 4 organizations in different countries around the world. The team consists of 3 researchers who've developed and validated the scale for adults, and the coordinators of the 4 organizations that will administer the scale to the young people they serve in Canada, Italy, and the Netherlands, and in the US and other countries through the Future Problem Solving program. The scale itself has 5 components: the length of time that a young person thinks about the future, from short to long term, how much influence they believe they have on the future, whether they can conceive of and be comfortable with multiple futures, whether they understand that change is a function of a system as well as the result of individuals, and whether they care for others, those who live today as well as those who will live in the future. The grant is a year long, beginning in April of this year. We spent the summer listening to teachers and adapting the scale to young people's ideas and language. We administered the scale and collected data from hundreds of students over the last few months. Next year, we will analyze those data to revise and validate the scale and submit the results to an academic journal. In conclusion, it is time that we include young people in the ongoing adult discussion about the future. We trust that this scale will support that goal by answering the question that educators have on the value of learning about the future. We look forward to the continued support of the Prince Mohammed University and the World Futures Federation. And we thank you for visiting their booth. We look forward to hearing from you to join in and support our mission.